Good morning, y'all. This is Real with Robo. Today I wanted to talk about Reggie Cannon. That's the soccer player who decided to clap on his fans for booing him. Now, I like a few things about his little go-off spree, his little mini rant, whatever, and he said that he was disgusted with his fans because when they decided to try and be like the NBA, I want to be like Mike, and put on the Black Lives Matter t-shirt, get on a knee, and hold, the Black Power fist up high, because that's what it actually is. And the fans decided, we're tired of this. And they started booing him and booing the other players that were doing that and the referees, and started throwing things at them. Like, we are sick and tired of y'all. Okay, there's a few things that interest me. So I'm going to go down the list. I made another video like this, except for it was a little more vulgar and graphic than, I like. Because now that I'm starting to get more viewers, I want to keep it real, but I also want to keep it peaceable to where, you could share my videos with your family and friends, and you could also listen to them while children are present. Also, because my kids have become, my number one fans, and I'm kind of honored about that. And, they was like, Mommy, you talk how you want to talk, how you always talk, and we'll just deal with it. But I know how they grandparents are, and, well, if they came in and heard my voice speaking on their YouTube, they'll flip out. So, we don't want no complications in all that. Okay, so, Mr. Cannon. First of all, you are an entertainer of sorts, okay? Let me designate roles here, okay? You're an entertainer. You play sports. And you play sports for a lot of money. And your fans are the ones that flip the bill, okay? So, we got the soccer players who are entertainers and the fans who pay to be entertained. Okay. So that's the designated roles here. Okay. He went on to say that they asked the stadium to not even play the national anthem because of how things are in America these days, okay? Okay, I can get that on one level, if I really stretch my mind, because the national anthem, it's all about unity, it's all about fighting together for one common cause, and right now, because of people like this idiot, Mr. Cannon, America is divided. So I can understand why he doesn't want to hear the American anthem. Because it's for all Americans, not just him, his little SJW buddies, and some fake, fraudulent cause. Okay. Now that we got all that over with, now we're going to move on to why he's ungrateful and why the fans booed. Now, see, Mr. Cannon and the rest of them may not understand why the fans booed. During the national anthem, you're supposed to stand with your hand across your heart. This is the way everyone has been taught, okay? And it's not to be like, oh, mind control or brainwashing or nothing like that. It's to show unity. We're all united for America, which is sad that he would be disgusted and ask for the national anthem not to be played, seeing as America is the one that gave him the opportunity basically to make money, and a lot of it by kicking a ball into the net. And then him thinking that that is the proper arena for him to and his little friends to go on their "you need to live this way" role. Okay? So that's kind of like a part of why the fans booed you guys, is because you guys are really good on telling us how to live and how we should live our lives. And yet, you stuff in all them fat paychecks that are paid for by fans into your pocket and not doing anything for anybody except for sticking your nose in the air and thinking you too good for everybody else. Like, who are you? For real. Compared to the fans, who are you? You're nobody. Because without the fans paying to come to the game to see you, you would not exist as per a name. When I saw a video about this, I believe it was ABL. I mean, I'm not sure, but I want to say it was ABL that I saw this on.
It was.
And Mr. Cannon went into all this mess about how, fans are disgraceful and disgusting and dishonorable and all that because they booed you. And they were being patriotic. Okay. Then I want to talk about that black fist in the air. Okay? The Black Power fist. I want to explain to a lot of people out there who don't understand what that fist resembles. Now, I was raised in the 80s. And yes, I remember the Watts riots. I remember OJ and the rioting. And I remember Rodney King and all that. And I remember in the early 90s, late 80s, where a lot of people rejuvenated the Black Power fist. It actually comes from an earlier time in history, from the Black Panther movement, the Nation of Islam movement, and all of that. And basically what it is, it's a symbol of racism towards white people. It's not a symbol of uplifting and caring about the black community or taking back your power, etc., etc. It was basically raised by the people that wanted the white man gone. Down with the white man. Down with the man. Okay? It's a racial innuendo. The third thing I noticed was that they got down on their knee. Now me, I have no problem. If you want to kneel, go right ahead. I have no problem with you superstars getting down on your knee, because throughout history, kneeling is a submissive action. Basically, what you're saying by kneeling is you submit. Like you kneel before the queen to be knighted, and you say, "Yes, my liege." You kneel when you pray, because that is humbling yourself. When a man asks a woman to marry him, he usually gets down on one knee to show that he is submissive to her answer. You beg on your knees. So that, coupled with the ungratefulness of the country that gave you the opportunity to get paid millions of dollars by the fans to watch you kick a ball into the net, coupled with the Black Power racist action, basically, I hate white people. And then on top of that, you are putting yourself in a position of submission. Now, the main reason I think they booed you, other than they're sick and tired of people like you telling them how to live their lives, what they should believe in, how they should speak, how they should dress, all this and that other thing, is BLM's core beliefs. Number one, they are Marxists. Marxists and democracy do not mix, okay? Basically, you're saying that you support people that want to destroy our way of life, our civilization, what the country was built upon, okay? And quite frankly, I don't know why black people would ever become Marxists, because Karl Marx was one of the most racist people in the world. He was right up there with Stalin and Hitler. And the fact of the matter is that Karl Marx had a core belief that black people and any other people other than white people were secondary citizens, second-class citizens. Basically, you are crap, okay? Now, we move on to BLM, and when they say they want to destroy the Western civilization's nuclear family. Now, what that means, a nuclear family, and the Western civilization's thought of what is a nuclear family, it's a man, a woman, and a child. And maybe a dog or a cat or something else, goldfish, whatever. But the nuclear family is a father, a mother, and a child. So what they want to do is break that up and have the village, and this is actually what it says, raise the children. That means they want to break up the family idea and have society raise the child. Whatever is cool or deemed appropriate in society at the time, they want the children to learn that. So Now, not only are you saying that you want to destroy America, the traditions, the way of life, the society that we have in America, our core beliefs, but now you're saying you want to destroy the nuclear family, and you're telling us how to raise our children, that society is better equipped to raise children than their own parents. So I could see how fans didn't like that. Not only that, but you are playing in Tennessee. You're from Texas, okay? Tennessee and Texas were playing. You are playing in the South. The South has a reputation for patriotism. They love their vets. They love their troops. They love their country. God, guns, and country. That's basically the South's motto. So I don't know why you thought you would be welcomed and well received with the message of you want to destroy their country, tell them how to raise their kids, and bring liberal BS to the South. Okay, the left's BS. I can't say liberal because I have liberal friends and they're not all like that. Anyway, that's my bad. I'm just glad I caught myself on that because it's not liberal ideals. It's the left's. And just because you're liberal or Democrat, it doesn't mean that you're down with what the left is saying these days. Okay. Let's get that out there in the forefront. Now, I think the biggest problem that the fans had with you is what BLM is doing right now. Okay? We all see the riots. We all see the destruction of businesses. We all see these people hollering Black Lives Matter, and yet of all the deaths that have occurred since these riots have started, and no, they're not peaceful protesters, and no, they're not mostly peaceful protesters, they are rioters, okay? Let's get that out of the way. They're hollering Black Lives Matter, and yet they're destroying black communities, burning down black businesses, taking away the opportunity of those black communities to have jobs at places like Louis Vuitton and Tesla, okay? And they're killing black people. So it's like a conundrum. How do Black Lives Matter, and how can you holler that when you're visibly out in the streets destroying black lives? I mean, maybe I just don't understand it, and maybe it's because I'm white. I don't know. But the actions of BLM speak louder than their words, basically. They're not about police brutality, because you do not see from BLM all examples of police brutality. Like, you do not see a black cop beating the hell out of a white criminal. You don't see a white cop beating the hell out of a Mexican criminal. You don't see a Mexican cop beating the hell out of a black criminal. All you see from them is one example, like every 4 years, when they want to riot and throw a fit because it's election season, or every 2 years when the Senate and Congress renews their people in there, it's like they give one questionable example. And I know a lot of people are not going to like this, but George Floyd was not all that it cracked up to be. Body cams have been released. And quite frankly, honestly, I think the most those cops are going to get is a slap on the wrist. Because it shows the before, the during, and the after. And the DA, who was in such a rush to agree with the mob, overcharged the cops. But I don't know anyway. I don't think he should have died. You know, they should have got EMS there quicker. They should have watched for different signs. You know, Officer Tatum speaks about, you know, this thing when the criminal is really, really high and then comes down really, really quick. Sometimes he just crashes and burns. Or she just crashes and burns. And that means they end up dying. On top of that, the autopsy report does not support it. It does not say by forcible asphyxiation, which would be from the knee and the neck. It says by cardiopulmonary. That's basically a heart attack. Okay? And the medical science behind it shows that not only did he have a weak heart and heart problems, underlying health issues, but then you add everything on top of that, and that's what caused it. And no, I do not believe the lawyers, autopsy specialists. It's not that he's not a competent man or a competent doctor. The fact is, when you do a forensic autopsy, and this came from a forensic autopsy specialist, when you do a forensic autopsy, you usually take out certain things as evidence, like being that the problem was with the neck, you would remove the whole neck inside, so it wouldn't be there. Parts of internal organs would be missing because they need samples to test. And so really the secondary autopsy was unable to be precise and exact, is what the forensic autopsy doctor said. And this was one that was just looking on the case, looking on the autopsy. So my point here is, BLM does not stand for police brutality. That's an excuse to riot and do all that. And if you go to BLM's page, you will find out that when you donate, you actually are donating to the same people that handle the DNC donations. And Officer Tatum brought up a good point. He said, all these people are donating to BLM. Well, where's the money going to? Bank of America gave them $1 million. Where did that go to? Did it go to programs? And he did this whole investigation report, and I suggest you watch it because it's actually quite enlightening, Mr. Cannon. So now, I can see why the fans booed. First, they're sick and tired of people like you, elite, superstars, millionaires, billionaires, telling them how to live their lives. and what they should and shouldn't believe in. And y'all thinking that the Oscars, the Grammys, the sports stadiums is a place where you get up and you do your little show out for the mob thing, okay? Like, it's your personal platform. They went there to watch a soccer game. Maybe see a few fights because tempers flare during games, especially competitive ones. So, you're instead making everything political. And so I could see why they were mad about that. They didn't go there to see politics or to be reminded about the stupidity in the world. They went there to relax, buy a hot dog, some soda, and kick back and watch a soccer game. Okay? That's what they went there for. That's what they paid money for. Instead, they got a bunch of people who, number one, didn't want the national anthem to play. And when it did, y'all got down on your knee and raised one of the most racist anti-white signs in the world. And I do not see a lot of black soccer fans. I know there's some out there, but mostly it's like hockey. It's very rare to see anybody other than white and Hispanics watch soccer, okay? And maybe I'm just being racist in that, but I'm yet to see a whole bunch of black people actually take interest in soccer. Okay. That's just my personal opinion from what I've seen in the crowds and, you know, having black friends, they never talk about soccer. So the fans were probably disgruntled also because you're disrespecting the country that gave you the opportunity to get paid millions and millions of dollars by kicking a damn ball into a net. Okay? So first of all was the entertainment. Then comes the disrespect to our country. Next, we look at one of the most racist actions since the 50s, okay? And that's the raising of the fist, okay? So the racism, the disrespect toward America, and I came here for entertainment and I have to look at this political bullcrap. Next, we filter in the BLM thing, which a lot of people see the cities being burned, see these riots out of control, see cops being basically thrown under the bus by people who support these people. Okay? And you don't know your fans' background, so you don't know if there's a bunch of cops in there. And these people literally want to take their livelihoods. And being Americans and the way the South is, patriotic as hell, you expect them to applaud the fact that you support a group that is destroying our fellow Americans' lives and the good guys' lives. I think the silent majority, as they call us, who are sick of this and will take it out on the polls, And by that, I don't mean Polish people, okay? I mean, literally on November 3rd, you're going to hear our voice just like you heard it at that game. The silent majority spoke to you, let you know how we feel. BLM is out there burning, destroying, stealing, looting, being criminals like they are. And no, I'm not going to give BLM not a quarter. I'm not giving them any quarter. And that's not like the quarter, you get from $1. I'm talking about no quarter will be given.
None of those quarters either.
And none of those. Because I do not donate to people who are trying to destroy America. It's just a personal peeve of mine. So, they're out there destroying black lives in America while hollering Black Lives Matter over the support of a criminal who held an unborn child at gunpoint. And you expect the fans to be happy and applaud that? I don't think so. But what got me the most, and my husband brought this point up, it was a dang good point. What got me the most is you're complaining that the fans are booing you standing up for what you believe in. And yet you are calling those fans disgraceful, disgusting, all that stuff for standing up for what they believe in. It seems to me like you can't figure out if you're going to shit or get off the pot. Honestly. You support a group that hollers Black Lives Matter, and yet they're destroying black lives. You holler fans are disgraceful because they booed me standing up for what I believe in, and you're dogging them for what they believe in. Do you elitists in Hollywood and in the sports world now understand why little people like me, your quote-unquote fans, think you're idiots? I'm just curious. Like, do you understand now? Like, you're supporting people who say Black Lives Matter, yet they're destroying black lives. You're saying you're mad at the fans for booing you for standing up for what you believe in, but you're literally degrading them for standing up for what they believe in. You're an idiot. On top of that, you lost the game. So, like, you're not only a loser in intelligence, you're a loser with the fans politically. You're a loser with the fans sports world, like. I mean, dang, Mr. Cannon. You lose that life. Just a little note here before I end this video. You and Hollywood, sports world and Hollywood and anybody else, if we want to talk politics, we'll go to a convention. When we go to the movies, when we watch the Grammys, when we watch the Oscars, when we watch the football, baseball, basketball, soccer games, we don't want to look at politics. We want to watch you entertain us. You get paid to amuse us, not tell us how to live our life, disrespect the country that gave you the opportunity to make so much money and kick a ball into a net. That's called ungratefulness, by the way. Tell us that we are incapable, insinuate by BLM's core beliefs that we are incapable as parents to raise our children and that society should raise them for us. And that's another thing. If society was so great on raising children, I mean, look at the idiots out there that are rioting right now. They were raised by society. Do you understand now why we think you're idiots? Put on your bells, your tassels, and entertain us. You're not really the greatest at soccer, because if you were, you'd be playing for Manchester, England, or a Hispanic soccer team, or football team, as they call it, okay? You are a soccer club. That's what they call you. Soccer club. You're not even a soccer team. You're a soccer club. Like you go and you play soccer as a hobby. Okay? You're not actually a soccer team. I mean, to think you have the audacity to tell the fans, the one who pays the bills. You know, I have a saying. When a friend comes up to me and says, well, you know, their opinion of me is that I'm ugly and not smart and that I'm not worth life and I should kill myself. And I say, are they intimate with you, feeding or financing you? Well, no. Then their opinion doesn't matter. Okay? And this is the thing here, Mr. Cannon. Those fans are financing and feeding you. I don't think anybody would want to be intimate with you. I mean, with that attitude, me being a woman, I could honestly say, with that attitude and your intelligence level, I can't see anybody being with you. And if you are married or have a girlfriend, then you need to go ahead and buy her a lot of gifts, because clearly she believes in charity and has a good heart and has a weakness for sob stories and pathetic men. Okay? That's just me being real. All right? Those fans are financing and feeding you. So what they want is what matters. What you believe in, good for you. But when you are being paid to play a game, then I suggest you understand one thing. When you get woke, you go broke. Ask the NFL. Ask the NBA. When you get woke, you go broke. Because people do not want to see politics when they're trying to be entertained, unless they're sick and sordid like me, who enjoys a good political debate just as much as I enjoy watching people walk down the red carpet. I actually don't really enjoy the second one. Like I like seeing hockey people fight. That's a good one. I do like seeing that. Blood on the ice. It's beautiful. But the simple fact is, those fans didn't come there and pay all that money to be told how to live. They came there to watch you kick the ball into the net. I suggest you start thinking about what your fans want. Just like these Democrat mayors and governors and other politicians might want to start thinking about what their actual constituents want. Because, honey, without those fans, those disgraceful, disgusting fans, you ain't gonna have a job. Just like the politicians, without those constituents, them crazy right-wing people, they're not gonna have a job. So if you want your gravy train to end, I suggest you continue doing what you want to do and then yelling and degrading the fans. If you want the gravy train to end, you continue to do that, thinking you know what's best for them. And supporting people who destroy communities and people's lives. You continue to do that if you want the gravy train to end. If you don't want the gravy train to end, I suggest you keep your politics to yourself and you don't disrespect and bite the hand that feeds you. Because just as quickly as it feeds you, it could kick you out of the house. And that's real with Robo.